Welcome to Hari's Hobbies, the channel where we discuss the latest tech news and delve into newest tech products. So recently, the RX 580 got to the lowest price that has ever been in the last 12 months at $279.99. But does this even matter given how close the GTX 1100 series and AMD Navi is? But before we get into that, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you guys like to stay updated with the latest tech news related to gaming and PCs. So as you guys already know, the RX 580 and the RX 500 series have been one of the most affected cards from the GPU mining craze. The RX 500 series was pretty much the first series to be affected by the GPU mining craze, and prices still remain inflated. However, fortunately, for the past couple months, the prices have been getting better, and the RX 580, like I already suggested, is being offered for the lowest price that it has been offered in the last 12 months. While at first it seemed like the prices would never go down for the RX 580, because for the first 10 months the RX 580 was just completely stuck at $440, prices did start to come down starting in around May, and has been dropping around $2.50 on average per day since that. If you guys are interested in as to why the GPU prices are dropping at such a slow rate, then make sure to check out my dedicated video on that. But anyways, as it stands right now, the RX 580 does seem like it's going to hit MSRP, or at least the lowest that can go given the current RAM pricing situation. So as it is clear, over the past 12 months, the RX 580 was not even a consideration for most gamers. However, the RX 580 is actually a really good mid-level card, and so should you buy it now that pricing is getting a lot better. The RX 580 delivers pretty much identical performance with the GTX 1060, and it is the perfect 1080p 60 frame per second card. So how does the GTX 1060 and 580 compare? Well, they're pretty much identical, and in some games the GTX 1060 does better, and in some games the RX 580 does better. It's really as simple as that. At the same time, AMD just recently announced that they're going to come out with a new graphics card every single year, and on top of that, the GTX 1100 series has been anticipated for many months now and expected to come out very soon. So should you wait for those instead of buying the RX 580 right now? Well, first off, let's start off by talking about Navi. So as for Navi, Navi is going to implement next generation memory, so GDDR6 memory most likely, and the performance will probably be on the higher level of things. However, the problem with Navi is that Navi will most likely be a higher level set of cards like Vega was last year. I'm not sure if AMD is planning to have one series of graphics cards with all their graphics card part of it, or if they're going to keep it in two series like the RX series and the Vega series right now. If they do decide to do that, then it would be the RX 600 series, and Navi wouldn't really affect the average gamer, so that's pretty much out of the consideration, at least for right now. And on top of this, Navi isn't even expected until 2019, so there's still a lot of time for that anyways. So, what about the RX 680? Should you wait for that? Well, there hasn't been any leaks or rumors or anything about the RX 680, and also if you look back at the RX 480, which was the last generation's flagship for the mainstream platform, the RX 480 and RX 580 were pretty much identical, and the RX 580 didn't really improve that much over the 480. So that may be how the RX 680 will be as well. Recently, AMD suggested that they are going to become more focused on gamer-oriented graphics cards instead of AI and machine learning graphics cards. So that's a good sign for gamers, but the thing is, it takes a while to develop new gaming graphics cards, and so as a result, I don't believe the effects of those actions will be reflected as early as the RX 680. I think that it will take at least until the RX 780, or maybe even a 680, but at that point, this RX 680 wouldn't be coming out for a while though. So, should you buy the RX 580 or continue to wait? Well, I don't think there's anything coming out from AMD in the imminent future that would really make a difference. However, on the GTX side of things, the 1100 series is expected to come out really soon, as in late summer or early fall of this year. So, that may be worth considering waiting for. But even with the GTX 1100 series, the GTX 1160 out of that series probably won't come out until the end of this year or early 2019, so it is still quite a wait. So, if you guys really need a graphics card right now, I recommend that you just keep a close eye on the RX 580 and the GTX 1060 because the performance is pretty much identical, and you buy whichever one is cheaper at the time of buying. However, if you can wait, then I recommend that you guys wait for the GTX 1160 because it is supposed to cost the same amount that you're willing to spend for the RX 580 or GTX 1060 right now. However, the performance will be much better and it should be around the performance of the GTX 1070, actually a little bit better. Finally, the last option that I would recommend is waiting until the GTX 1170 and 1180 come out in like August or October of this year, and then buy a GTX 1070, which will most likely be heavily discounted because it is then outdated. That way, you'd be getting the performance of the GTX 1070, but not spending much more than what you're willing to spend right now for the RX 580. So in my opinion, those are the three best options right now. If you can wait, then simply just wait for the GTX 1160 and pick it up for a good price when it comes out. If you can't wait, then just keep a close eye on the GTX 1060 and RX 580 and find a good deal and try to get it on a really discounted price. Finally, if you can wait some time but not too long, then maybe a good option would be to wait for the GTX 1170 and 1180 to come out and snatch a GTX 1070 for a really good price. But that's pretty much all I have for you guys this time. So what do you guys think about this? Do you guys think that it's better to wait for the GTX 1160 and get that? Or what about the RX 600 series? Do you guys think that that'll be a big improvement over the 500 series? Make sure to comment down below what you guys think because I do read all my comments and I'm curious as to what you guys think, so make sure to post your thoughts. Also, if you guys like this video, then make sure to drop a like and hit that subscribe button if you guys would like to see more videos just like this one. But until next time, bye.